Cadence of Conflict, Asia, February 4, 2019. The Pacific Daily Times Symphony Asia Mad Scientist Theorem is hard at work. That history unfolds as if a mythical mad scientist has finished societal experimentation on North Korea and has now decided to implement the same principles in China, this time with a seemingly faster canter toward communist calamity. Rather than nukes, China makes noises of sinking U.S. aircraft carriers and invading Taiwan. The theorem is not truth, but it helps to accurately anticipate how history will unfold. And anticipate it has. It foretold that the mythical miracle of China would be exposed for the myth it always was. The so-called China miracle seduced too many. There was no miracle happening inside China. There was no invention, no innovation, no new ideas. Even China's socioeconomic framework was reverse engineered from Russian Marxism. Now, government requires itself to be the head of even religion. An atheist government wants to define the truth for a religion that believes in a God that the government does not. How can that not be a course for calamity? China gained its money not from its own human ingenuity, since the Confucian education culture purges all ingenuity inclinations. No, the money came from Americans who would drive half a dollar's distance in gasoline to save a nickel, thinking that this made sense. It didn't make sense. It didn't save sense. But it did make dollars for China. But now those dollars are all gone. The dollars China believed in and the dollars that made Western saps believe in China. The miracle was never from China, but from the United States' innovative, free-thinking, God-fearing economy. China continues to grab for power, not because it feels powerful. While its economy and international respect have taken a nosedive, China is all the more adamant about reclaiming what is China's ostensibly by right. The looming invasion of Taiwan won't happen because China believes it is economically strong enough to win, but that reclaiming Taiwan would solve all other problems to make China economically strong again. China believes China is a poor nation only because it hasn't yet retaken more control of more lands, such as Taiwan, an island that the Communist Party never once controlled. Even King Belshazzar feared the writing on the wall without understanding it. But Western saps didn't fear the writing written in their own economic language. Now, 3 Canadians are shocked and caught off guard. They should have known better than to put themselves in such peril during our dangerous times. So should the coupon clippers in America's consumer base have known better. So should the American companies about to watch their investments get appropriated have known better. And China should have known such a trade war was coming. Lack of reciprocity started the Opium Wars. China should have researched America's history books for the phrase Indian giver, which often described America's government much more than it described America's natives. China should have known that American consumers would respond in wrath when their jobs had been exported from their homes and imported into a country that prohibits free speech and religion. China should have known that a trade war was in the making from the first day that American manufacturers outsourced their labor to the Chinese. But the Americans never told China because the Americans were too consumed with their own consumerism. The obvious has been ignored. Now the inevitable results are playing out. Whatever course history takes, The results must run their course. But we know it won't be pretty, not for a while anyway. But of all the things it never was, it was always foreseeable to those who wanted to look at what was right in front of them. It takes two to start a war. So everyone should have known the war that was starting, because everyone was starting it long, long ago. And that is the cadence of the conflict already seen in the Pacific.